साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि. So, hello everybody. I welcome you all with all my respects. So, we will be having session today, tomorrow and day after. Of course, on 10th also. 4 days. Okay, now we are starting the session about the life solutions. And we were speaking about the attention need. And we were speaking about, okay, love. What is real love? And we were also speaking about who becomes sannyasi. Somebody asked Swamiji, was it failure in love that caused you to become a sannyasi? Then what did Swamiji answer? He said, it was success in love that caused him to become a sannyasi. Failure in love will create only a devadas, not a sannyasi. Please understand, real love happens with no relationship. Only ordinary love happens when there is a relationship. People always think that, okay, Mauli, people always think that when nothing works out for you, when all love is lost, you become a sannyasi. People think sannyasis are renunciates who are driven by frustration. I tell you, it is so sad when we think of the people who say these things, because they are in such deep ignorance. They continuously pass judgment. So, people think that when nothing works out for you, when all love is lost, you become a sannyasi. Understand, they continuously pass judgment from such a state of ignorance. Understand, sannyas is the ultimate marriage to the divine. A true sannyasi is one who is so loving and compassionate that it is said that where he walks, the grass doesn't even die. Understand, you must have heard a great devotee called Meera, who sings bhajans, and her bhajans were her prayer. Understand, when you find your real love, prayer becomes love. The ordinary love that we know is nothing but expecting someone to satisfy your psychological image. Because, why? Because you need someone to take care of your needs. True love is beyond names and forms, body and mind. And only a person who can love the whole world beyond all these can become a sannyasi. Only he can become a Vivekananda. So I said, I'll share about how we complicate love. I said I'll share about it this class, right? When Vivekananda says, arise, awake, does that mean that we are sleeping? Of course, we are sleeping even without knowing that we are sleeping. That's a different issue. And we pass judgments also while we are asleep. We criticize when we are asleep. We condemn when we are asleep. And we think we are awake and we criticize. We think we know everything about everything, including love. A small story. I'll share a small story. A man had a wealthy old aunt whom he visited regularly. He coveted her wealth and went out of the way to please her. She had 2 cats, which she loved. The man knew this and would look after the cats religiously, hoping to win her over. Excuse me. His secret wish was that he would make him a part of her will when she wrote it out. I think all of you know what a will is, isn't it? Please switch on your cameras because healing will be happening when you're sitting here. His secret wish was that he had to make himself a part of her will. He would come every day, feed the cats with milk, play with them, spend a lot of time, and go back. The old lady was very pleased at the way he looked after the cats. Soon she passed away. In her will, she had left him the 2 cats. In the will, what she did? Instead of leaving the money and property, she left the 2 cats to him. You can imagine the disappointment in the man. He must have felt cheated, isn't it? With ordinary love, there is every possibility that you will feel cheated. People love for wealth, for the favors that they get done, for the words of advice that they get, for other people's forgetful ways which they can exploit, and what not. Love always comes with a reason, but people will never accept this for a fact. They don't accept it. because they are deluded by their own ordinary love. They think that that is the way love happens. And they think that while they are so loving, I'm simply bringing down their love. They think when great beings like Swamiji shares all these things, they think they are simply bringing down the people's love. Honestly, if you sit and think by yourself, you will understand that what I'm saying is true. Do an honest inquiry on yourself and see. Just sit down and try to visualize how you would react if your father or mother or sister behaved in a slightly different way towards you. You will then understand what I'm saying. We are all the time in need of something from someone, and so we are continuously paving the way to get it from them in a smooth way. The smooth way is what we call love. Don't think that this applies to getting only material wealth. Even when you expect a person's behavior to be in a particular fashion, you behave accordingly with them. Am I right? As long as both of you are behaving in this fashion, you love each other. If someone misses it somewhere, your love takes a momentary dip. Take Swamiji, for example. We all claim that we love him very much. Each one of us has got a particular idea of how he should behave towards us. He simply behaves towards each of us in the fashion. That is what he is doing now, actually. What happens if even once Swamiji doesn't smile at us, or if Swamiji says something to us that does not fit him into our frame? We will start thinking that he doesn't love us anymore. We will start thinking that maybe he's not so loving after all. We will start imagining about why he said a particular thing to us, or why he did not smile at us. He might have been talking to someone else, or he might have simply not smiled at us, just to allow our ego to settle a bit, that's all. But we miss the whole game and start interpreting his actions with our own dictionary of love. What will happen? You will land up in deep misery. This is how we simply complicate love. At least when it comes to him, there is no complication added to it from his side. Imagine what will happen when two of you start relating with each other in this fashion. There will be total chaos. You will simply be low love, that's all. People always tell Swamiji, we love our children. Understand, when it comes to putting up with their naughty behavior, how many times have you sworn at them? One girl tells Swamiji in the ashram, Swamiji, my mother loves if they behave themselves well. She wants me to bring the children to show them off as her grandchildren to her friends and then scolds me for the chaos they create. When you see children, you are pulled by their innocence. That is one thing. The second thing is, it gives you a feeling of pride and ego boost when you see that they are your creation. And of course, you provide for them and make them happy. But what also comes with limitations and preferences. It is highly subjective to the ways of the children. A small story. A man was laying a concrete road. You know what's laying is, right? He had just finished laying the road when a group of children from the neighborhood came running onto it, leaving footmarks. The man got very angry, swore at them. His friend asked him, "Hey, what is the matter? I thought you liked children." The man replied, "Yes, I do, but not on concrete." Ordinary love always comes with some condition somewhere or the other, with some fine print somewhere. This is what I'm trying to say. We love people subject to name, place, moods, and situations. The love of an, let us discuss how is the love of an enlightened being. A small story from the life of Vivekananda. One night, Vivekananda woke up at 2 a.m. and awakened his disciples. His disciples were anxious and wanted to know what was happening. 2 a.m. Vivekananda said he was feeling a lot of pain and that in some part of the world there was a natural calamity that was happening which was causing him this pain. The papers the next morning announced a terrible earthquake in Fiji Islands that had consumed many lives. Understand? He was sensitive to a calamity that happened in some corner of the world, thousands of miles away. Do you think normal human beings can be this sensitive? Even if our neighbor is sick, it will not have any effect on us. A small story. A man called up his family doctor and said, "Doctor, I think you should visit us and do a checkup on my wife." The doctor asked, "Why? Is she unwell?" The man replied, "I think so, doctor. Yesterday she got up at her usual time, had a bath, cooked food, sent the children to school, cleaned the house because the maid did not turn up. She also washed our clothes, brought the children back home, attended to their homework, and went to bed. Around midnight, she was complaining that she was tired. Maybe she needs to be checked up." Understand, we have become so insensitive today. We are not even able to connect to the other person who is living with us 24 hours a day and 365 days of the year. You caught the thread of the story, isn't it? Enlightened beings, on the other hand, are deeply sensitive to the universe surrounding them. What happened in Vivekananda is what you call empathy. Mind you, it is not sympathy, it is empathy. Sympathy is a very superficial word. We are all capable of sympathy. When someone tells you about their suffering, you just confirm their suffering for them. That is sympathy. If someone tells you that their husband is ill, you tell them, oh, how awful, you must be very unhappy. Don't worry, everything will be all right. In the name of sympathy, we confirm their suffering for them, and they in turn tell us that we are so caring and loving. Actually, they love us because we have agreed that they are enduring suffering. It is a subtle ego boost for them. They feel good that we are acknowledging that they are managing such big worries. This is what society calls as sympathy. What masters feel towards us is not sympathy, it is empathy. Empathy is when you feel another suffering in your own being. Then a person does not have to tell you his suffering, but you simply know because the existential energy in you feels it. Masters are one with you because they are one with existence and you are a part of existence. Only you see them as separate. And because they are one with you, they feel your pain in their heart. They don't know any other way. And they have the capacity to witness the pain that comes with it also. Understand? Ordinary love gives birth to children, while real love gives birth to your own real self. You give yourself a new birth, a transformation. Like how the caterpillar becomes a butterfly, man becomes a realized soul. You awaken to the energizing love that is lying dormant in you. A master transforms you with his love. Swamiji always tells his disciples, when he's compassionate, he's cheating you, he says. When he fires, scolds, he's teaching you. Either way, you grow. Sometimes Swamiji demonstrates his compassion in a very loving way so that you are more conducive to his transforming fingers. Sometimes he shows his compassion by simply firing you so that you are jolted into deep awareness. In both cases, pure love for you is the only reason. Otherwise, what is the need? Isn't it? A master is an ocean of infinite love, and he knows only to give. If you approach him with a bowl, you will take back a bowl of him with you. If you approach him with a pitcher, you will take back a pitcher of you, of him. It all depends on how thirsty you are. That's all. More thirstier you are, the bigger the vessel you will approach with him, isn't it? Be very clear. Swamiji is not asking you to love God or any master. It is very difficult for you to love something you haven't seen, but you can love all that you can see. Can you not? Understand? He is there always, watching you, walking up to him with vessels of various sizes and laughing to himself at your own uncertainty, at the play of your mind which you project on him. You can love the animals, the plants, people, and whatnot. Simply love them for no reason except the joy of loving. Feel a deep connection with them and love them. Once you start doing this, you will develop a certain faith in existence because existence is the common thread that runs through all these things. Faith is something that cannot be imposed upon you. If it is imposed, you will harbor a deep vengeance towards the object of faith. When faith happens, slowly your love will become love towards the whole of existence. Then the ultimate religion will take root in you. The religion of gratitude and love. Gratitude and love are closely related. When you experience gratitude at the core of your being, there will be only love in you, nothing else. The first step towards feeling real love is feeling gratitude. As long as there is discontentment in your system, there cannot be real love. Gratitude and love go hand in hand. Understand, guys? Just disappear. That is love. See, to deal with your chakra, your energy center, you need to know all these things. That is the reason such a long discussion and preparation, and you are being prepared with the context, right context. Until and unless we discuss, we know each and every facet, dimension of this emotion called love, you will not know how to deal with yourself, your emotion, others' emotion, and everything. Understand? Some people tell Swamiji, I love the whole world. I don't do harm even to a small ant. Hey, why do you want to delude yourself by saying all these things? Can you even love your neighbor wholeheartedly? I tell you, it is easy for people to say things like they love the whole world because they don't have to do anything tangible to prove it, naturally. But they can continue to say that they love the world and not doing anything about it. They don't have to do anything special to show it. The world is, after all, an intangible entity. It is not a clear representation. But when you say that you love your neighbor, the problem starts. You have to see his face every day. You have to do something tangible to prove your love for him. Then it becomes a problem. And how can you feel great in not doing any harm to an ant? Is the ant capable of violating your property or person? Is it capable of testing your love for it? It is not even visible to the eye. And you talk about it to Swamiji. These are all ways to escape from the truth. Just try to understand one thing. Your inherent nature is love, and love is permanent. All other emotions simply come and go. That's all. You are caught in thinking that all the other emotions are real and that they are destroying love. Love can never be destroyed. If love could be destroyed, it would have become extinct long ago. Also, when you really love, the opposite emotions cannot enter into you. They will simply be excluded. When there is bright light in a room, can darkness be brought in? No. Only when you dim the lights, darkness can enter. In the same way, only when real love has not happened in you, the other emotions can enter. When you are brimming with love, there is no way another emotion can enter. You might have experienced that when you do something intensely, you forget yourself. It can be anything, as simple as coloring or painting or reading or anything. When you go deeply into it, you forget yourself. When you have an intense headache, just try doing some activity very keenly. Your headache will go away. This is a technique. If anybody has headache, anytime, try to do some other activity very keenly. Your headache will go away. Because you are continuously aware of your head, your headache continues. The moment you go deeply into something else and lose awareness of your head, your headache will simply disappear. Only when you remember your head, you can have a headache. When you go deeply into any emotion, only that emotion remains and you cease to exist. This is what we mean by totality. Understand? Understand? When we go deeply into any emotion, we will not be there. We cease to exist. That is what is called as totality. This moment of you disappearing, you may experience for just a few seconds, but you disappearing. If you work on being intense and total in everything, this experience of you disappearing will happen more often to you and for longer periods also. Soon, you will master the art of doing work intensely and being absent. In the same way, when you are brimming with love, you don't feel yourself. You feel only love. You actually become love. Only when you become love, you found real love. When you become love, you automatically exude compassion towards everyone and everything around you. You take up a lot more responsibility around you. This responsibility is not out of ego of serving people, but out of the overflowing love energy in you. I'll tell you, the moment you love your master, you will never feel his work and your work is separate. Many times I hear, yes, ma, after we finished today's work, We will take 2 hours time for Swamiji's work. Or they'll declare, I declare every day I will do 4 hours of Swamiji's work. Means what? What is Swamiji's work? What is your work? Even if you are doing your own personal work, you will still feel responsible 24/7 about his work. Point is not how many hours you worked, actions. It is about how responsible you feel in your inner space. Hey guys, do you think whole day I'm doing Sangha work or what? Nothing like that. I may be doing only half an hour, 1 hour, sometimes 10 minutes, sometimes 10 hours. But no matter where I am, whether in the house, whether out of town, whether in some marriage function, whether something, I feel responsible 24 hours. I never feel I have to allot a separate time for Swamiji's work. No. My time is Swamiji's, that's it. Even if I'm doing my personal work. Because the moment a phone call, something happens, I leave my work like that and run. Like how when the elephant cries, Sri Mahavishnu leaves everything and runs. Isn't it? So 24/7 be in your personal work, but 24/7 feel responsible. Feel responsible. Responsibility is love. I'm telling you. If somebody needs to call you, hey, Swamiji needs this, your master needs this, please come for 1 hour. That's it. That's not love anymore. Understand? When love overflows, love energy, you will just feel responsible. That's it. Love and responsibility always go hand in hand. When you truly love, you will take up total responsibility as well. People think that sannyasis are those who run away from responsibility. Understand? When you forego responsibility towards your own family, you are taking up responsibility for a much bigger family, for humanity at large, for a family which is millions of times bigger than your own. People don't understand this and they simply criticize. Responsibility is something that can be easily shrugged. The more responsibility you take up, the more you expand, and the divine energy will automatically flow in you. Swamiji always tells his healers to take up as much responsibility for the suffering and pain around them as they can, as they can, and to continually heal people. Understand? When you feel that you are responsible for the pain around you, you will automatically stand up to help reduce it in some way or the other. People often think that it is enough if they do things for their own family. This is a way of contraction, not expansion. You need to expand for growth to happen. Existence will automatically flow through you when you take up responsibility. Hey guys, this is my personal experience. 100%, 200% I agree with it. God, the way it will mold you, responsibility, just can't imagine. People always tell, Swamiji, it is enough if I'm able to feed my family properly. Be very clear. This is just an excuse to draw a tight boundary around yourself, a way to contract yourself. Anyhow, I will continue tomorrow because I don't want to keep you. Already we started the session late and I don't want to keep you. Maybe it's your sleep time already, specifically in India. Anyhow, we will discuss tomorrow. Tomorrow also we'll be having session. I'll keep a message. I'll message you all, whether it's going to be at 7:30 or 8:30 or 8, whatever. So please read the message, okay? Thank you all. Let me give a healing now. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. I want all the cameras on for healing. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Let all of us experience the true love energy and be healed of any other emotion which is not love. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.